Presented by Turkish Airlines, Spalding, and Intersport.
In the show, the two most successful Euroleague coaches faced off on the court and spoke about their rivalry. The legendary Šarūnas Jasikevičius, his thoughts, his history, his life. Ahern and Kožarek celebrated maiden wins with their respective teams. And we have the bwin MVP and top 10 of the week. Their last head-to-head was on December 17th, 2009, Panathinaikos Athens against Real Madrid. Now, almost 4 years later, Željko Obradović and Ettore Messina, the two most successful coaches in Euroleague history, meet each other once again. One leading his new team, Fenerbahce Ülker Istanbul, the second on the CSKA Moscow bench.
It's nice always to meet Ettore. He's a great friend, and I really like to play against his team because I know that always very tough, very difficult, and you must be ready 100% if you want to win the game.
It's like playing a chess match when you play against the Zelimir's team because they always try to force you to shoot with your worst shooters, and they will try to hide their so-and-so defenders using the strength of the other defender. So you need to prepare a lot.
After so many years, they know each other so well, although both know that that will not be enough to win the next game.
On the floor, his teams are always well organized. I think the trademark is that they know what they have to do, and more important, they know who is supposed to do the task.
He is the coach that he likes to have control about everything. Preparation of the game, way how he works with their players, and because of this, very successful coach.
It's so exciting for everyone to see a game between them. But they are too experienced to limit the question just to themselves.
I'm worried about his good team because he usually has a very, very good team. So that's what worries me most.
I try to prepare my team in the right way, to be concentrated, to be focused on the game, and knowing this that we play many times. Always thinking that maybe it will be some kind of surprise.
In any case, if they are among the most famous and appreciated coaches in the world, there must be a reason.
We have an opportunity to influence in the good and in the bad the game. Just for example, for one thing, substitutions. Substitution is just a matter where you can make mistakes or you can make the right choice. You can help your players calling the timeouts in the right moment, for example. And to adjust to the new Euroleague rule this year will be important down the road to use them properly. There is a higher chance that you influence the game in a bad way rather than in the good way. And sometimes just to let things go probably are the best solution.
Basketball is a game that the influence of the coach during the game is more than any other sport. Everything that you prepared before the game, it's okay, but you must be ready for many new situations that happen during the game.
This time, Coach Obradović took control of the game from the first quarter and never relinquished the lead to Coach Messina. Fenerbahce eased to victory 86-60 with another great performance from Bojan Bogdanović, 23 points. Stelmet Zelona Gora began their first ever season in the Euroleague with 2 defeats against FC Bayern Munich and then against Unicaja Malaga. Leading the Polish club in this Euroleague adventure is Łukasz Kożarek, who arrived in Zelona Gora last March after a season with Asseco Procom Gdynia.
Last season when we played finals, we knew that if we win, we'll play Euroleague next season. So I just pushed the guys. Hey, we have to be Euroleague, because last season my experience with Asseco Procom was great, but I think we got like unfinished business here. So
it is only normal for a rookie club to struggle at the start of such a tough competition. The technical level in the EuroLeague continues to rise compared to the national championships, and the opponents are always ready to take advantage of any weaknesses.
These guys out there, will punish you for all, mistakes what you will do.
However, the 29-year-old guard of Stelmet Zelona Gora seems to have clear ideas about what is the best way to overcome these obstacles.
40 minutes focus, concentrate, and and sometimes patient, because you don't know when you get your momentum and when you get, so you need to use this.
And Łukasz Kożarek's adventure is even more exciting thanks to the good feeling he has with Zelona Gora's supporters. Being able to play with such tranquility can certainly be of great help.
Here in Zelona Gora we got like great fans, because they really appreciating our effort. They understand sometimes some games you cannot win, so they stay together with us all the time and help us.
In round 3, Stelmet Zelona Gora sealed a historic win. They hosted Montepaschi Siena and managed their first ever Turkish Airlines EuroLeague victory by 73-65. Łukasz Kożarek led the Polish club with 15 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists, and is fast becoming the real spearhead of the team. For the visitors, Josh Carter was the top scorer of the night with 16 points. The win improves Zelona Gora to a 1-2 record in Group C. Turkish Airlines EuroLeague rookie is the bwin MVP of round 3. Olympiacos Piraeus forward Bryant Dunston earned the honour thanks to a magnificent performance in a tough game. Dunston started the comeback for the Reds, down by 5 with 5 minutes left, with 2 free throws. As well as that, the 27-year-old from Kentucky, USA, had produced a fantastic night by scoring 19 points with 7 for 9 by 2 and a perfect 5 for 5 from the line. Besides his shooting stats, Bryant added 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 1 assist and 2 steals for a performance index rating of 33, the best of the round. With an addition like Dunston, the 2-time reigning champions can hope in a three-peat. There is a star that has illuminated Lithuanian and world basketball for years, and that man is a current EuroLeague legend. Šarūnas Jasikevičius returned to his home city just before the start of the regular season to play for Žalgiris Kaunas and lead another team, even if at 37 years old he is nearing the end of his career.
I still enjoy, the game, and this is pretty crazy. Over these years, I really enjoy practices and stuff like this. Basically, right now, what I'm trying to do is just survive in this profession because it's, I don't know anything else in life. I do understand that once this thing is gone, it's gone. You're not gonna, whatever you do in life after, it's not gonna be as good as basketball.
It is often said that it's harder to stay at the top than to get there. You have to have lots of self-confidence, know your strengths and your weaknesses, and be able to adapt as the years go by.
I always understood my limitations as far as, athletic ability and things like this, so it was very important for me to work a lot on the, individual techniques and individual part of the game. I watch video a lot. So over the years, I try to really stay at the highest level in that way, You change the way with the eating and sleeping habits, for example, when you get older and you're trying to still survive in this business,
This star has lived in many different cities and has a bond with each of these, but there is one thing that connects them all: victories. His family has had to make a lot of moves.
Barcelona is my favorite city in the world. I played my best basketball in Tel Aviv. I spend the most time in Athens. All three of them feel like home, It seems like every year we're moving, now we have children, so the moving is very difficult. You just go and try to find a school and hopefully your kids, they like it, It's no other way. You also try to find a school close to your house, that you don't have to drive like crazy all the time.
A tour that could well end in the city he loves the most.
I hope Barcelona, but my wife, who's Greek, maybe she has to say something about it.
Wherever it may be, it seems that Sarunas' son is ready to follow in his father's footsteps.
First of all, I try to, discourage my kids from being in basketball. I don't want them, But it seems like the son is a little bit crazy about the ball, so I don't know if I'm going to succeed with that, I will just always try to tell them play for the team, because the most important thing, the team wins. If the team wins, we all become much better players than we really are, just because our team is winning.
4 Euroleague titles, he was also MVP in the 2005 Final Four, playing alongside some of the best players ever seen in Europe. Choosing an all-star team from his time as a player is not an easy thing to do, although it goes without saying he would start from himself.
I mean, I played point guard in all of them, so I kind of have to put myself, Anthony Parker, Dejan Bodiroga, Nikola Vujicic, and, I don't know, we might have to put Diamantidis in there, so we might have to put Bodiroga to the 4 position, a little bit. So, because Diamantidis has to kind of enter that whole situation,
Obviously, to guide 5 champions of this caliber, you would require a coach of equal prestige and character. And only Željko Obradović fits the bill.
You have to put Željko if he would agree to coach us, because it's a pretty crazy group of us, but I think he can manage also because he's not exactly very calm himself, so.
Jazikevicius's first triumph in Euroleague came with another coach in 2003 at Barcelona at the Palau Sant Jordi, and there is an interesting anecdote to accompany that success.
The morning of the final in Barcelona with Barca, I remember Pesic, he threw us out of the practice, because he thought that we were not focused enough. I don't know how it's possible not to be focused on the morning of the Euroleague final, but for Pesic, it was maybe this kind of motivational tool, or maybe he really thought this, I don't know.
Then he changed team, but the final result remained the same. Euroleague champion once again in 2004 and in 2005, this time with coach Pini Gershon.
With Maccabi, we just had incredibly talented team, and Pini really gave us a lot of freedom. We were very strong individually, We managed to succeed, you know, managed to play beautiful basketball, you know, there with Maccabi.
Sarunas made it 4 in 2009 in Berlin when his Panathinaikos were guided by coach Obradovic.
He's the most complete coach, you know. Some coaches, they tend to focus on defense a lot. Some of, you know, give you a lot of freedom. Some really try to control you. And Jerko always somehow managed to really find this middle point in all of these situations, you know, which is the best in any part of life anyway, not just to do with sports, you know. He knows when to push you, he knows when to be tough with you, he knows when to be, you know, very nice with you. You know, he really feels the player. Obviously, he was a high-level player himself.
It isn't easy to manage players of this caliber, and it requires a special mix of technique, talent and creativity that any coach would love to have at his fingertips.
As far as my game goes, I don't have a very ordinary game. I tend to risk a lot, you know, so when you over-risk, you know, you need a coach that's somebody that puts you down, you know. You always think that you can solve problems yourself, you know, and you know, that's why you need strong coaches, you know, strong personality coaches, that they will explain to you, look, you know, there's other 4 good players around you on the court, also they can do something as well, so maybe if it's not your day, maybe calm down a little bit, you know.
Round 3, Žalgiris Kaunas, led by new coach Saulius Stombergas, got their first win of the regular season after beating Strasbourg in Lithuania 88-64, with 3 for 3 from the distance and 4 assists for Šarūnas Jasikevičius. The Lithuanian star is the top free throw shooter in Euroleague history with 92.1%. Well, this year, the great Saras will have a serious competitor. His name is Blake Ahern, and he plays for Budivelnyk Kiev. Blake is 31, and he has spent most of his career in the States. If you take a look at his free throw stats over 10 seasons, you'll see he has an average of over 90%. More specifically, 1,670 made and 1,774 attempted, which is a percentage of 94.1. Simply unbelievable.
I practice a lot. You know, I've not just my free throw shooting, but my shots. I've recorded every shot that I've taken since I was in 4th grade, and whether it be free throws, 2s, 3s, I record everything. So I think that's one of the reasons why I am a good free throw shooter, because I write down and I can see how well I'm doing when I practice.
This stat can be attributed to hard work, but it's also a natural skill. He doesn't do 100 shot drills like everyone else, but 102.
You know, even though I'm 29 years old, I still picture, you know, I make my 100 throughout the course of my workout, and then the 2 is just picturing myself at the end of the game and making 2 free throws to win. You know, it sounds childish, but I've done it since I was in 4th grade, and you know, I don't think I'm going to stop.
Like every free throw specialist, and not only the exceptional ones, there is a ritual that accompanies the precision of every shot.
Yeah, my ritual is it's pretty simple. You know, I always find the nail on the floor. Every wood floor has a nail. I'll put my right foot on the nail. Ref throws me the ball. I take 3 dribbles, spin the ball, and I'll wipe my hands on my shorts. And then I find the valve, which is basically the center of the basketball, and put my index finger somewhere near there and just let it fly.
Everything seems easy, and yet who knows how many players would like to have his quality.
It's practice and confidence. You know, people say that, you know, it's, you know, I've seen people talk about you know, different players who can't make free throws and whatnot, and I just don't buy it. You know, if you spend enough time and you practice, you should be able to make them.
Free throws are so important, and not just because they bring your team easy points.
You know, I think there's games when, you know, if you're struggling shooting the ball, you know, you've missed a couple threes, twos, whatever, getting to the free throw line can help you calm down, get your rhythm back, and, you know, kind of get some points on the board, and I think it'll definitely jumpstart you for sure.
Of course, there is always the flip side to the coin, because when he does miss, it is a shock.
You know, I'm not perfect, you know, I know that, but I think it's more the crowd. You know, most of the places, especially in college when I was there, you know, people knew what I was doing free throw wise, and whenever I would miss, there'd always be a big, you know, kind of, oh, you know, big reaction from crowds. So it just kind of comes with the territory.
This did not happen last Thursday. Blake sunk the 4 free throws he attempted in the last minutes of the home game against Partizan Nis Belgrade. Budivelnyk won its first Turkish Airlines Euroleague game ever, 74-69, after an even game, led by Darius Lavrinovic. And now we check out the top 3 of the week.
Number 3, Madrid, Spain. Dante Draper of Real Madrid sends it in the air, and Rudy Fernandez ignites the crowd with a reverse slam. Number 2, Zelona Gora, Poland. Great team effort by Stelmet. Off the steal and pass, Lukas Koszerek feeds Christian Ayenga for a high-flying alley-oop. And the number 1 player for week, Bamberg, Germany, final seconds of the game and Brose Baskets down by 1. Jamar Smith finds Casey Jacobson for the game-winning three-pointer.
Strasbourg will host the 2013 Turkish Airlines Euroleague runners-up in the round 4 game of the week. In a never-seen-before matchup, the French side will try to earn its first victory of the season against one of the favourites to reach the 2014 Final Four in Milan. Big man Alexis Ajassa, one of the most spectacular players of the competition, with his monster dunks and blocks, shooting guard Antoine Diot and coach Vincent Collet, gold medalists with the France national team at the recent European Championships in Slovenia, will sound the charge for their side, exciting the crowd and involving sharp shooter Jeremy Leloup and swingman Ricardo Greer. At the other end of the court, the most spectacular team of the competition, Real Madrid, will use all its offensive skills to get another win. Using all the talent and the connection between Sergio Rodriguez, Rudy Fernandez, Sergio Llull and Nikola Mirotic. Forgetting deadly three-point specialist J.C. Carroll and big man Ioannis Borousis. prepare for a showdown at the new Sport next Thursday at 8:45 p.m. when Strasbourg and Real Madrid will share the stage in the next game of the week.
Presented by Turkish Airlines, Spalding, and Intersport.